One of the big pitfalls of starting a small business, such as real estate investing, is how to protect your personal assets from your business investment, and the other way around. If you buy everything in your personal name, you run the risk of a single lawsuit wiping out not only your investment, but also your personal property. As such, I generally recommend that all small business owners incorporate their business in some way as to provide maximum reasonable protection for your assets. There is only one good reason to buy property in your own name solely if you are a small business or you're an investor, and that is for a refinance. If you buy real estate and you plan to refinance the property to get cash out or to pay off a hard money loan, almost all conventional banks will require the property to be in your own name. If you know this is your plan going in, then I recommend you buy the property in your personal name and keep it in your personal name at least until the refinance takes place. This will leave you exposed to the liability of the security deed and any consequences of foreclosure or defaulting on the loan, but it is the only way to get the refinance done in the first place. Buying in your own name will save you from troubles with possible seasoning issues down the road and allow you a much more smooth transaction in closing the property on the refinance. Even if you should refinance the property in your own personal name, after the refinance is complete, I still recommend putting the property into a business entity of some sort. If you are not planning on refinancing the property, or after the property has been properly refinanced, then I strongly recommend creating an entity of some kind. Once this entity is set up, then you should buy the property in the entity name and not personally as often as possible. Cash buys and most hard money lenders will allow the purchase into a company, although most hard money lenders will still require a personal guarantee. This creates a strong separation of business assets and personal assets that will be important if there's ever any litigation against your company or against you personally. Even the most upstanding and careful individual can find themselves embroiled in a lawsuit, and it is best to protect yourself as best you can. Once you have decided to form a business entity, the question is which entity you would like to set up. Georgia has very simple rules regarding limited liability companies, or LLCs. They can be set up relatively easy. They do not have the requirements of advertising, corporate seals, and corporate books. If you are a sole member, an LLC is definitely the way to go. However, if you have partners or a group of partners, and you want to keep everything on the books, above board, and well documented, you may wish to make an S corporation. The S corp is taxed as a partnership, but provides all the benefits and protections of a corporation. The main value of the S corp over the LLC in Georgia is the record requirement. If you have several partners who are arm's length participants in your company, an S corp can provide a great deal of peace of mind between the members of the company, and everyone can see easily and clearly what is going on at all stages of the corporation. If you do feel that your partners or you will never argue or fight about the business, then you can stick with the LLC. If you want to mix, you could even write down greater protections in an operating agreement for the LLC. But remember, even close friends or family members can fight when money is involved. Some investors stick to a strategy of one company that holds all their properties. Other investors make a separate company for every single property they own. The latter does provide more protection, for each asset is separately owned. However, it does have a much greater amount of administrative filings and costs to keep all the companies going. You'll have to look at your comfort level with all the different companies and all the different paperwork to make a decision in that regard. Once you have decided to form your company or companies, there are a number of steps you must take to make that happen. I strongly recommend consulting with an attorney for at least the first few companies you put together. After that, you may feel strong enough and confident enough to do it completely by yourself. Most attorneys have very reasonable rates for setting everything up and allow you to save yourself the headache of trying to figure out everything yourself the first few times. Additionally, groups like Atlanta REIA occasionally put out workshops to help you set up your own companies. I will be hosting such workshop on November 20th of this year. At this workshop, I will actually go through the steps to create an LLC or an S corp, and your business entity will actually be created with all the supporting documents before it is over. I highly recommend you attend.